Another killing of a nonviolent bystander by ICE agents in Minneapolis.
America, MS Now just got caught red-handed using AI to alter a dead man's face on national television. They took Alex Pretti, the man who was shot in Minneapolis, and made him look more attractive so you would feel potentially more sympathetic for him. This is psychological warfare disguised as news media. But here's the kicker. They did all this while telling you not to believe your own eyes and ears about Trump. And this isn't the first time. Remember when CNN made Joe Rogan look like a dead corpse during C-19?
Turns out I got COVID.
Look, they put a
So
yellow
we
filter on
immediately
me
threw
too.
the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of mess.
Same playbook, different target, same manipulation. What is up, guys? Tyson DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I'm about to expose exactly how the media uses visual manipulation to rig and trigger your particular emotions and why they're doing it right now in Minneapolis. Hey, what is up, guys? We just got done editing this MSNBC altered footage of Alex Pretti, and there's been some new footage that just got released, so I'm going to insert it into this video here. So it's going to be a little out of context, but it is footage about 11 days prior to Alex Pretti getting shot, and it shows him being absolutely violent with DHS officers. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat, and he walks away. The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Pretti was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
Let me show you exactly what MS Now did. Once you see it, once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Another killing of a nonviolent bystander by ICE agents in Minneapolis. This time it was 37-year-old Alex Pretti, an ICU nurse who cared for veterans.
Look at the differences. They shortened homie's chin, softened his features more refined. They didn't just use a different photo. They used AI to make him look more attractive. Why do they do this? Because of something called the halo effect. When someone is physically more attractive, your brain unconsciously assigns them to positive traits. We're talking about kindness. We're talking about honesty, innocence. You're more likely to sympathize with them, believe their version of the events, and assume that they're the victim.
Donald Trump and his cabinet, his administration, are demanding once again that you not believe your eyes and ears. Fortunately, for the sake of our country and our democracy, Americans in large numbers today are choosing to reject Donald Trump's lies.
They're stacking the manipulation, attractive AI-enhanced image, emotional language about caring for veterans, omitting the fact that he was armed with a loaded weapon with multiple magazines. This, my friends, is propaganda 101. Now, let me show you why this matters, because this is a pattern. It is a pattern that keeps on happening. It is not an accident.
You see the original video versus that? I look like there.
Remember this? CNN took Joe Rogan's video announcing that he had C-19 and made him look sicker. They put a yellow filter on him, desaturated colors, made him look like he was dying. Why? Because he was talking about ivermectin, and they needed you to think that it was a terrible decision.
Good. Pause. It's enough.
Prednisone.
I don't think that's enough, Jimmy.
Same tactic, different direction. With Rogan, they made him look worse. With Pretti, Alex Pretti, they made him look better to generate sympathy. sympathy, but both are manipulation designed to control how you feel instead of letting you actually think. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. While MS Now, BS Now, whatever you want to call it, is photoshopping dead protesters, investigative journalist Cam Higbee just infiltrated the actual protest coordination networks in Minneapolis. Shout out to Cam Higbee, by the way, because he's been doing some phenomenal work
in Minneapolis, actively collecting information on ICE whereabouts, telegraphing it to protesters, asking people to come and back them up, including outside of the donut shop, where Alex Pretti got involved in trying to film or take video of the Border Patrol arrest that was going down and ended up dead.
Check this out. They're actively tracking ICE agents' locations in real time using spreadsheets, airtables, whatever this is, telegraphing movements to protesters, calling for backup at specific locations. Again, we've talked about this a series of times on this particular channel. This is not spontaneous resistance. This is coordinated obstruction.
Backup needed at Black Forest Inn parking lot on Nicollet Avenue. Urgent. Observers urgently requested at Glam Doll Donuts. That's where the Pretti incident went down. Observer has been shot by ICE, unknown condition. EMTs present, please be safe.
Look at the messages. Backup needed, urgent observer requests. Observers have been shot by ICE. They're mobilizing people to interfere with federal law enforcement operations. And when somebody gets hurt, they act shocked about this whole situation.
These groups, which are conspiring, I think, to obstruct federal law enforcement, that is a crime. They are contributing to, I think, unfortunately, the rise in violence you're seeing in Minneapolis.
This is conspiracy to obstruct federal law enforcement. Obviously, it's illegal, and the FBI is now actively investigating who's funding these operations. We have a little bit of an idea of who's funding these protests. If you haven't seen that video, I'll place it somewhere on the link above and in the description down below. We go into more detail about it. Kash Patel already confirmed that this investigation is happening. Now, while MS Now, BS Now is photoshopping victims and protesters or coordinating obstruction, something unexpected, absolutely crazy is happening. Democrat Senator John Fetterman has been torching his own party specifically over this.
In any jurisdiction, if they are in custody of any criminal migrants, absolutely turn them over to ICE so they can deport them 100%.
Fetterman said what most Democrats won't. If you are a criminal migrant in custody, turn them over to ICE for deportation. 100%. No exceptions, no mas.
I was very disappointed with Governor Walz referred to ICE as Gestapo and those things. Don't ever compare anybody to Nazis.
ICE has a job to do. You can disagree with tactics, but they are not Gestapo.
What happened in Minneapolis, I described this in my statement, that's become an ungovernable and a dangerous urban theater for law enforcement, for citizens and agents.
Fetterman called out Minneapolis as an ungovernable and dangerous urban theater for law enforcement, citizens, and agents. That is a Democrat senator admitting that his party and the party's media partners created this chaos. And he is absolutely right about that. Now, while all this has been happening, President Trump just did an interview in Iowa where he addressed the Minneapolis situation directly.
Bovino is very good, but he's a pretty out there kind of a guy, and in some cases that's good. Maybe it wasn't good here.
Trump's making it clear this isn't a pullback from Minnesota and Minneapolis. It is a tactical adjustment. Bovino is good at what he does, but sometimes you need to make adjustments on your particular approach. This is not weakness. This is strategy.
These are paid insurrectionists.
And Trump called it exactly what it is. Paid insurrectionists and paid aggregators, not concerned citizens, not peaceful protesters, paid operatives creating chaos.
It's hard to believe that's the same guy I watch on television, or I watch in a debate not doing so well, or because we had a very reasonable conversation, very good conversation. If you believe the conversation, he'd like to get this thing over with.
And check this out. Trump revealed that Timmy Tampon Walz is completely different in private. Reasonable, cooperative, wants to get things resolved, but in public, he calls ICE agents Gestapos and Nazis and comparing the situation in Minneapolis to the Holocaust. Two-faced Timmy Tampon is what we're dealing with, and Walz knows Trump is right about the entire situation. He knows these operations are necessary, but he can't say that publicly because it affects his base. The base that he's been been pandering to for years. Now, let me connect the dots because this is the pattern that they don't want you to see. MS Now photoshops a dead man to make him look more attractive, so you sympathize with him instead of asking why he brought a loaded weapon to a federal law enforcement operation. Coordinated networks track ICE agents in real time and mobilize protests to obstruct federal law enforcement operations, which the FBI is now investigating as criminal conspiracy.
Quit. Walk away. Do it now before you shoot in the face another mom of 3.
Democrat politicians like Eric I banged a Chinese spy Schwawell are telling ICE agents to quit their job before they shoot another mom of 3, even though the woman that he's referring to in that particular situation drove a vehicle into a federal agent.
This ICE is unworkable, and it needs to be completely crushed and reshaped.
They want federal immigration enforcement dismantled, and they're using Photoshop images, coordinated obstruction, and emotional manipulation to make it happen. But obviously, here's what they didn't count on and what they're not showing actively. Democrats like John Fetterman breaking the ranks and actually telling the truth about the situation, Trump adjusting tactics without backing down, and the FBI investigating the coordinated networks funding this particular chaos. America, here's what you need to understand. When MS Now has to Photoshop a dead man's face to generate sympathy, they've already lost the argument. When they have to use AI to make somebody look more attractive because the facts don't support their particular narrative, they're admitting the truth doesn't work for them. The same media that made Joe Rogan look sick to discredit him is now making Alex Pretti look more attractive to manipulate you. It's the same playbook, visual manipulation designed to bypass your logic and trigger your emotions. But the coordination networks are being exposed. The FBI is investigating. Democrats like Fetterman are breaking ranks, and Trump is adjusting tactics without backing down. The pattern here, folks, is clear. Create chaos, manipulate images, coordinate obstruction, and when all else falls apart, blame Trump. But Americans, most Americans like yourself, are seeing through the bullcrap. The Photoshop images of a dead protester proves that they're desperate, and their desperation means that they're losing. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.